Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March 5th, 2018 agenda meeting of South Plainfield Mayor and Council. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Amy, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
Councilman Besh had a personal obligation this evening. Councilman White?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
And Council President Benjavanga.
Here. Thank you. Can you take us through a review of tonight's agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This evening we have three releases of performance bonds for public hearing. One's for MUY Brands, the other is for Christopek Subdivision, and the other one is GTG Builders. We also have a public hearing regarding Summit Paper Company. There are no matters on for closed session this evening. We have four proclamations. We have approval of council minutes for February 20th, one ordinance on for second reading by title, and one ordinance on for first reading by title. There are 21 resolutions on this evening, four matters of correspondence, payment of bills totaling $381,455.13, accounts reports, and we conclude with public comments. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Council comments on agenda items? Seeing none. Amy, we have everything in order for the release of the three performance bonds on our site, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Mayor.
Any council comments regarding the release of the performance bond posted by MUY Brands LLC, public improvements to block 528, lot 46.04, and also a release of off-site performance bond by Christopek Subdivision, block 380, lot 401, and off-site performance bond by GTG Builders, block 81, lot 19.03. Any comments, questions, concerns regarding the release of those three performance bonds?
Nothing there.
Okay. Do we have representation for MUI Brands here?
Yes.
There are no council comments or questions regarding this. Everything is in order for us. And in one moment, I'll open it up for public comments, assuming there is no public comments or concerns. This will be put on the agenda, on the public meeting for tonight. You are more than welcome to stay after that point, but you are under no obligation to do so. Okay? Is there anything you'd like to tell us regarding the performance?
No.
Okay, perfect.
Very good. Smart.
At this point, I'll open it up for public comments regarding the release of the performance bond for MUI Brands LLC, public improvements of block 528, lot 46.04. Seeing none? Okay. You're all set. Do we have representation for the release of performance bond for Christopek Subdivision?
Yes.
Sir, same thing for you. There's no council comments or anything in order here. Is there anything you'd like to address to the public or the governing body regarding the release of your performance bond?
Nope.
Okay. At this point, I will open it up for public comments regarding the release of the performance bond for Christopek Subdivision, block 380, lot 4.01. Seeing none, close public portion. You're all set, sir. Do we have representation for GTG Builders, block 81?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Same thing, everything is in order here on our end. There's no council concerns. Is there anything you'd like to address the public or the governing
Just
body?
a question, is the letter of resolution, when do I receive that? I need that to start my bond insurance.
You'll receive that from my office, and after the governing body authorizes it, assume it this evening, you can have it any time from tomorrow afternoon onward.
Terrific. Thank you.
Okay, all set, sir. At this point, we'll open up for public comments regarding the release of performance bond GTG Builders, public improvements to block 81, lot 19.03. None, I'll close the public portion. You guys are all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Next item is a public hearing for Summit Paper Company, waiver of requested fees and the waiver request for the number of permitted trailers. Mr. Rizzo, is there anything you'd like to address before we
Right, well, we have, by code, we limit the number of storage trailers per acre to 2 per acre. In the event, and there's also a licensing fee or permit fee of $500 per trailer. Our code provides that if there's a request for a waiver, more trailer parks than permitted, that comes to us, the mayor and council, as opposed to the, one of the zoning boards. My understanding is that Summit Paper has expressed an interest, I believe, putting, as it was put, at least 10 storage trailers on their property, and also a waiver of the fee, because that would involve a $5,000 fee for 10 trailers. And we're here to have a hearing as to the reasons for it, whether it could be any detrimental impact, and a determination by the governing body as to what will be permitted and if any fees will be waived.
So, sir, you want to, I guess you can provide us with your name, and as Mr. Rizzo said, can you provide us, your reasons for that, and I guess...
Yes, thank you. Good evening. My name is Shahbaz Rahim. I'm the owner of Summit Paper Company. We have been certified as minority and disadvantaged business by state of New York, New Jersey, and Port Authority of New York. We did participate in a public bid for New York City, which we won that bid based on the price we submitted to supply tissue paper to citywide administration. Since we are a small and disadvantaged business, they had some concerns perhaps of our capacity to deliver the quantities required. So they made us an obligatory requirement on us that we have to maintain at least 15% of inventory as a safety stock in case of emergency or FEMA type situation. We should have stock available. Out of that, 10% is required to be maintained to be delivered, which can be delivered within 30 days, but 5% on 24-hour notice. 15% of the stock amounts to about 7,000 cases of toilet tissue.
7,000 cases?
Yeah.
I have a comment, but I'll... reaction.
Well, the requirement is minimum of 50,000 cases every year.
Wow.
That's a 5-year contract, which can be rolled over for another 5 years if everything goes well. We being a very small business and the margins so thin on the open bidding on this huge contract, we cannot afford to lease another premises or something. We thought since it's one product, perhaps we can park 10 trailers or 10 shipping containers in the back of the property, which has a large yard, it's 1.44 acres, and our building is only 20,000 approximately square feet. So we can just keep those stocks ready to ship at a very short notice. Some of the product will be imported, so we will have a surge of trailers coming in when the ship arrives. That will stay for a short while, but we will reconfigure the load on the pallets and put it in the containers.
And just for knowledge of everybody, where is Summer Paper located in South Plainfield?
3480 South Clinton Avenue.
And so you stated that's placed in the rear of the building?
Yes, there's a big yard at the rear of the building. It's a corner building on Century Road and South Clinton. On Century Road side, there's a huge green patch which does nothing for us.
How long is the contract for?
Sorry?
How long is the
The
contract?
contract is for 5 years, and it can be rolled over for another 5 years if everything goes well and we perform according to the terms of the contract.
Do you know of anybody paying this fee in the borough today?
From what I've been told, no, there are a number of properties with these containers, and I don't think anybody asked for a permit.
Yeah, Mayor, I looked at the ordinance, and one of the things that I think we do have to look at is amending the ordinance. As far as a $500 per container fee, I think that's a little excessive. It does state here that it's not allowed in any residential zones or any lots under 1 acre, which is a good thing. And it also says that it's 2 per acre of land, so you have 1.46 acres.
I think the survey says 1.46 or something.
Yeah, so that's why he's also asking for the waiver of the amount of containers, because it only permits him to do 2 per acre of land. So in that area, when you drive down South Clinton Avenue, I took a ride by there, and there are multiple places that have storage containers for the purpose of storage, not offices or
No,
trailers
this is
or anything
correct.
like that.
Yeah.
The one concern I do have is, behind your building, I took a ride over there, and behind your building, you have these parking stalls behind the building.
There-
In the macadam area, paved area, there's parking stalls behind your building.
Yes.
Is that where you're planning to put them, or?
Yeah, besides that, on the green, belt, what we do is we put some gravel in and compress it,
Okay,
and we park it. in
so
there.
it wouldn't take away from any parking
No,
that would be?
no, that will stay as it is, because my forklift has to come out and pick up those and go.
Okay, and the other question I have is any of these gonna be piggyback or stacked,
It will be all on this,
all on the same level?
same level, no stack.
And none piggyback,
No,
they'll be in line?
yeah, there's enough space for 10 of
Because
them.
that is the other thing here, that we require them not to be piggyback or stacked.
No, it will not be big.
So I just want to make sure of that. It is behind the building, it's in an area where there's not any view from the street. The only concern is that there is, from Century Road, a view from that street, if there's a way that we could put up some kind of a barrier, but I guess we'll have to look into that.
If required, we can either plant some
Okay.
hedge type thing, or we can put a fence on the side of the road. But the building behind me is like less than half an acre, they have 3 containers sitting there.
Yeah, well, that's an issue that we'll have to deal with.
Yeah,
But my recommendation, I know I spoke to a couple, Councilman Dean and White on this, about voicing my opinion, is it would be a hardship to you for a charge of $500 per container. My recommendation is to do have a fee, and I would recommend $50 per container annually. for you. It's up to the council to decide, but that would be my recommendation. Then we have to decide whether or not we would make more containers than is permitted, which would be 3.
Or we're looking at 10 containers?
10.
You don't see that increasing anytime soon?
No, 10 is, 10 is okay, because 10
lot of
will
fishing.
accommodate the safety stock. And what we are hoping is that after a year of reliability proof, they would reduce that amount.
So you'll be reevaluating the setup in a year, is what you're saying?
Yes, they will be evaluating our performance. If we perform according to their demands, they issue a PO, then we are required to deliver the product within 30 days. If we keep on doing it, we will waive, hopefully.
I'm sure you'd rather not have to have all those containers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, Mayor, I agree with Council President Benavent. We did speak about it, I agree. I think the 500 and then 250 following every year is a little steep.
It's like hunting another place.
Yeah, I'm fine with changing it
The
to,
5,000, you mean?
yeah, changing the number. I just, I agree that definitely no residential, which is something we'll have to discuss as well. But going further, keeping it, because these things come in numerous colors and you really can't dictate what color you may get because you don't know what you're getting when you order it. That either you paint them so that they're at a line of sight, so, as people drive by, they don't see them, they're not so obvious of what it is, because they come in numerous colors as well. So it's at least a little bit hidden to the public's eye as you drive down.
You wouldn't change the containers, it would just be restocked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you just change paint,
Yeah, we painted.
Because they come in blue, they come in green, they come in yellow, they come in numerous colors, that you can't dictate what you're getting. You just, when you call up these places and, they win bids on what you're getting, that you may paint them. So
Yeah, we can
you're
do
like,
that. And also we can fence it if the fee
Right.
is waived and that will use some money to
Yes,
Yeah, I would
put the
recommend.
fence around it.
yeah, something that disguises them a little bit.
I rather,
$50 fee or waiting?
No, I wouldn't wait.
I request to
equal
waive it.
$50 per container annually. And it's, the Councilman Dean said, have the containers match and then put a barrier with its friends.
barrier, I prefer to
fence.
put some planks for
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
gangsters.
Yeah,
Solid
I agree.
That's why we're.
Would it be possible to reduce the fee by the price of the fence, just to help them out a little bit, or no?
Or we're reducing the fee to $500.
No, I understand that, but, okay.
There's no way you can consider waiving the fee or?
No, I wouldn't recommend that just because you would set a precedent to move forward. $500 and $50 a container, I think is fair
50 per container, one time?
annually.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In your original request to the zoning officer, you indicated that your contract required you to maintain 10% of annual supplies.
Yes, I have to copy
And
the
you
contract.
expected to have 6 to 8 containers.
That's what
Why
we
the
have-
increase at this point, a few
Uh,
weeks later?
Well, the change is that I estimated that based on what we are being shipped. We are being shipped on the floor of the containers.
Okay.
We have to put the stuff on the pallets. That will restrict my ability to put the number of cases in one container. So we calculated that. And 10 is the maximum I'm asking now. We may end up using less. But,
Okay.
so in order to save time, I thought if I'm getting 5 containers from the ship, I'll just palletize everything and store it as we are shipping it next week.
Council thoughts, concerns, we got a proposal for reducing the fee to $50 per container on an annual basis.
With the barrier and the containers being the same color.
And
Yeah,
the
fence
same-
too?
and
Yeah,
the
the-
Yes,
stacking.
the fencing or,
Right.
well, that's the.
We changed it from this Century Road side.
Yeah, the century road side, yeah.
Yeah.
And that, going to be either a fence or
A barrier.
landscaping?
I'm gonna keep
I don't
it.
think
He's
you
talking
guys
about a
think
couple things.
You can,
I think landscaping.
Yeah.
yeah, I think plantings.
Yeah, as long as it's
Landscape.
kind of, pretty much hidden, I mean, does this still have to go through zoning board for final
No.
approvals?
No.
No, because it's a license.
Okay.
So,
So we can phase out also, like I can try the first 5 containers, then go up to.
Well,
Right.
what you can do, I mean, if you're authorizing up to 10, you can obtain a permit, pay for, if you want to do 5 containers, $250, that's fine. But then you can't put more than 5 on.
Yeah,
If you decide you need more than that 5,
I apply for another 5.
pay for another 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have to come back in front of us for up to
Right,
10.
you just have to pay the clerk's office
Yeah,
again
well-
for that.
Just to the procedure.
So you can pay the clerk's office for whatever amount you want, up to 10 at this point. All right? Assuming that's,
yeah.
Is there any other proposal?
Just real quick, what was Aberzazi's thoughts on this? What did, for fire official?
Well, they would all have to be inspected in accordance with any
Okay.
code. It says here that the trailer storage container shall be inspected by the Borough's Department of Fire Safety, which shall have authority to issue cease and desist notices in accordance with the Uniform Construction Act. So
Okay.
all the appropriate inspections and everything would have to be,
Sure.
just to make sure that there's no chemicals or anything stored in the containers.
Any other proposals?
I think that those are fair.
All right, it looks like the governing body is in agreement to put on we need a resolution,
we
right?
should do a resolution
We would-
authorizing, from what I'm gathering, to authorize up to 10 storage containers in his block and lot. But I only have the property address of 3480 South Clinton Avenue. The containers to be the same color, there to be some type of landscape or shielding from the Centennial Avenue sign.
Century.
Century Avenue, I'm sorry, and the fee to be reduced to $50 per, an annual fee of $50 per container.
And
And shrubbery or
I said,
Right, I'm sorry.
strawberry to Century
Yeah.
Avenue sign. So if someone wants to move that, second, then you can have.
All right, can we get a motion regarding the Summit Paper Company storage for motion by Council President Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman Dean. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, we have a resolution on tonight for that, and it'll get voted on shortly. You're welcome, sir.
No, you just voted on it.
Well, no, we just put it on the agenda.
Or is that what you did?
Yeah, well, we would, or to put it on the agenda.
All right, fine.
Just add it to tonight's agenda, so we'll actually vote. All right, at this point, we'll open it up for public comments regarding the Summit Paper Company request for permitted trailers and also a waiver of such requested fees. Oh, there's a request for a waiver, yes.
How many years is this approved for?
The ask was, well, it's a 5-year contract, so I mean.
It's a
assuming-
5 plus 5.
Yeah, the licensing is only up to 5.
Anything, do you need a name or anything, Ian?
Yeah, I think you should have it. Yeah,
Yes.
could you give me a name just for the record since you commented?
Katie Warrens.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, close public portion. All right, so that's on for tonight's session. Can I also get a motion for executive session, tonight, resolution 18-108? Actually, there are no. Anybody want to have an executive session tonight? Anything we want to talk about? All right. All right, seeing none, at this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. Ms. Boyle.
Debbie Boyle, Van Fleet.
Dasani water.
I have a comment to give a history for Resolution 18-115. National Night Out began 4 years ago. It was supposed to be with the Public Celebration Committee. Unfortunately, they were kept out of it. It was run by 2 people. It was at Veterans Park. OEM was kept out, police was kept out. For 2 years, there was no attendance, very little. No vendors, nobody from the public. In the 3rd year, the chief formed a committee. And this committee was able to put together a tremendous national night out, which included the library. Last year was the 4th year. Again, we all worked together, collaborated. It was the library, the committee, and the chief and PBA. My committee talked about this, and everybody was in agreement that the Public Celebration Committee would like to be a part of this again, and to work along with the library and the chief and the PBA. Reading the resolution, it's not quite as strong as the email that was extremely strong that we were sent. It does include the committees which the chief could designate, which is South Plainfield Public Celebrations and the Public Library. So I believe that we all plan on working on this together again. It's been a great asset having it in behind the library and everybody joining in. We've had tremendous crowds. They ran out of food last year twice and had to go and get more. So my comment is to give the history, and again, reading the resolution, it's a little bit more calming than the extremely strong email that was sent. So thank you.
Okay, just for anybody, it's a National Night Out, all this really is doing is endorsing the annual National Night Out event sponsored by South Plainfield Police and local PBA 100, and furthermore, a copy of the resolution forwarded to the police chief, PBA, and the clerk. So yes, and going back, I think 4 years ago, there was a council liaison to public celebrations and an individual on there that wanted to run a National Night Out. There were a couple of vendors. I mean, I attended them. I do agree with you, there wasn't a widespread attendance on that at all. part of it, I think the problem was it was in Veterans Park, and I don't know if the police were invited or not. But that's neither here nor there. Whatever it was, it was not a well-attended event, and the last 2 years, I agree with what you said, Ms. Boyle. The chief of police has spearheaded this with the PBA. This has turned out to be a wildly popular event, well, probably one of the better-run national night outs in the area. So, yeah, and I think all this is doing is just endorsing that model. So I think, talking to the chief earlier, I think the Public Celebrations Committee will be involved.
And the library.
In the library, or whatever the police department wants to do, but I don't see a reason of changing anything that happened over the last 2 years, and I don't think this resolution does. So.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, close public portion. At this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So,
We are adjourned. Seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right to the public meeting. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the open public. Oh, did you have a public comment? No. Okay. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting also being provided to the borough's 2 official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Amy, will you call the roll once more?
Yes, Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Fostini?
Here.
Councilman White?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
Council President Benjavanga?
Here.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Councilman.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide this council to the best direction for the residents of South Plainfield and look over our emergency services at the same time. Thank you.
All right, at this point, we'll ask once again for public comments on agenda items. Seeing none. Close public portion. Okay, we have a couple of proclamations on. Okay, March 2018 is Youth Art Month, and whereas art education contributes significant educational benefits to all elementary, middle, and secondary students by developing students' creative problem-solving and critical thinking abilities, teaching sensitivity to beauty, order, and other expressive qualities, giving students a deeper understanding of multicultural values and beliefs, reinforcing and bringing to life what students learn in other subjects, and interrelating student learning in art production, art history, art criticism, and aesthetics. And whereas the benefit of art education form the basis of world-class standards developed by the U.S. Department of Education and the National Endowment for the Arts, and whereas our national leaders have acknowledged the necessity of including art experiences in all students' education, and where support should be given to art teachers as they attempt to strengthen art education in their schools and communities. Now, therefore, I, Matthew P. Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby proclaim March 2018 as Youth Art Month in the Borough of South Plainfield, and all citizens are urged to take an interest in and give full support to quality school art programs for children and youth. I don't think we have anybody set thing.
Suzanne and I,
come on
because
down.
we do the cultural arts.
That's true.
That's why I keep looking at them. We do the art exhibit with the school.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just want to say that Governor Murphy is making this a precedent that the arts, including musical arts, become a huge part of academics along with athletics.
Got it. Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It's going to be May 17th or 18th when we do the whole district-wide art festival.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
For what? For me to tell you?
Uh, 2018 Read Across America Month, whereas the citizens of the borough of South Plainfield stand firmly committed to promoting reading as a catalyst for our students' future academic success, their preparation for America's jobs of the future, and their ability to compete in a global economy. And whereas the borough of South Plainfield has provided significant leadership in the area of the community involvement in education of our youth, grounded in the principles that educational investment is key to the community's well-being and long-term quality of life. And whereas NEA's Read Across America, a national celebration of reading, was conducted actually on March 2nd, 2018, which would have been the 114th birthday of Dr. Seuss. And whereas Read Across America New Jersey is being conducted statewide by the New Jersey Education Association in partnership with the New Jersey State League of Municipalities, the New Jersey Library Association, Saturn, UAW, Staples, and the affiliates across the state to promote reading and adult involvement in the education of our community students. Now, therefore, I, Matthew P. Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, along with the governing body of the Borough of South Plainfield, call upon the citizens of our borough to assure that every child is in a safe place reading together with caring adults during the month of March 2018. And be it further resolved that this body enthusiastically endorses NEA's Read Across America and Read Across America New Jersey, and recommits our community to engage in programs and activities to make America's children the best readers in the world. I think we have some library board members accepting the proclamation tonight. Any of my costume characters? You don't want to give this the secret identity. Put you in the center. And next to the president.
All smiling at you.
Anybody want the floor?
No.
No?
No,
Go on, I know.
thank you for your participation.
Yes, I would just like to thank all the council people who did come down and the people in town that came and supported us. We had, how many children? About 200 children.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Thank
We look
you.
forward to it all the time. Thing two.
You all do a great job.
If anybody wants to see some of those library photos, I'm sure they're still on the library website or Facebook. I know they're on our Facebook page as well. Okay, and we do have the South Plainfield Elks here tonight to accept this proclamation. South Plainfield Elks Lodge 2298 in honor of 150 years. And whereas on the 150th anniversary of the establishment of the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks, we celebrate the South Plainfield Elks Lodge 2298, committed to selflessly serving others in need across our great state. And whereas founded in New York City on February 16, 1867 by Charles Algernon and Sidney Vivian and a handful of friends, the order has spread across the country. And whereas dedicated to charity, justice, and patriotism, the Elks invest millions of hours each year to build stronger communities, assist homeless veterans, and to ensure kids steer away from drugs. To that end, the Elks have dispersed over the course of the Order's history more than $3.6 billion in cash, goods, and services to the nation's veterans, the disadvantaged, and the handicapped, and patriotic and civic programs. And whereas South Plainfield Elks Lodge 2298 always puts the needs of others before themselves, the Elks answer the call when asked to serve. They are one of the first organizations on the ground during a crisis, providing needed supplies and relief to those affected. And whereas each day they impact lessons of hard work, dedication to community, faith in God, and support to those who simply may need a helping hand. Now therefore, be it resolved that I, Matthew P. Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, hereby extend our best wishes on the 150th anniversary of the South Plainfield Elks Lodge 2298 and wish them many more successful years. At this point, I'll ask for the members of the Elks to join me in front that are in the audience today. National, Plainfield is not under. We have some other Elks that are council.
There's elks up there, I know that. Mr. Collins?
Oh, yeah. Wait, just let me get, I'll do it, just let me get this on the best I can on everybody. Why does this keep twisting? Wow, I can't get everybody in, but. I know.
Organizations throughout basically the world. So again, thank you very much for this acknowledgement. We appreciate it. Wonderful.
The recording, it's okay, it's okay. I know. I don't know what they backed into the chair and all of a sudden the camera swung around and the video and the recording stopped. That's okay, I got it.
All right, quiet down, Elks. Okay, we have a special honor here as well, honoring Donna Graham Barnes and Ed Barnes. And whereas the volunteering of one's time and resources is an undisputed part of our heritage and essential to our community's well-being, and whereas the people of the borough of South Plainfield, such as Donna and Ed, thrive on helping others for a better life, and whereas Donna and Ed notably put forth their volunteer effort by purchasing and distributing gifts to homeless mothers and veterans, and also by sending care packages to service people deployed overseas. And whereas such volunteerism is vital, fulfilling, and enriching to both the participants as well as to the recipients of the service, and such efforts should be encouraged for the benefits of all, the community at large. And whereas both Donna and Ed are outstanding examples of dedicated citizens who have given so freely of their valuable time, energy, and abilities. Now therefore, I, Matthew P. Nash, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby recognize the valuable hard work performed by Donna Graham Barnes and Ed Barnes, and thank them most sincerely for their true and selfless time spent in helping others, and believe that the Borough of South Plainfield to be a better place for having them as part of our community. So, Donna and Ed, if you could join us up front.
Two cents, she always puts her 2 cents.
Is there anything you guys would like to address?
Well,
No.
I just want to say that the way we got here is our president, Joan McNichols, is here in the audience for the American Irish Association of Central Jersey, and we were happy that we were able to find them and join their group. They're a small group, but very energetic and community-minded, and we are very pleased. And if anybody would like to join us, we're always open to enrollment, and just go on Facebook and look for us, okay?
Thank you.
So much.
Okay, moving right along. Can I get the approval of council minutes for February 20th, 2018, CDBG special hearing, agenda public and executive?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Volak. Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Abstain, I was on vacation.
Okay, passes
Honey.
4-0.
And your honeymoon.
I was on my honeymoon.
For final adoption, ordinance 2106.
An ordinance amending in its entirety ordinance number 2101 of the Borough of South Plainfield in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, finally adopted December 18, 2017, in order to include Rizzoli Terrace and other various roads.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption of ordinance 2106?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. As this is for final adoption, we'll open it up for public comments regarding the final adoption of ordinance 2106. Seeing none, for the public portion, council comments regarding the final adoption of ordinance 2106.
Nothing here.
Seeing none, Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. And for introduction, ordinance 2107.
And a bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Borough of South Plainfield in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $410,000, therefore authorizing the issuance of $389,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2107?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Wolak, seconded by Councilman Dean. Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. The public hearing and final adoption is set for March 19, 2018, approximately 7 p.m. We have resolutions 18-109 to the newly added 18-130. 130 again is for Summit Paper. Can I get a motion for adoption of those resolutions?
So moved. Second, Mayor.
Motion by Council President Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. We have 4 items of correspondence. The Recycling Monthly Report for January 2018, Business Economic Advisory Group minutes from September and October of 2017, 2008 Middlesex County Proposed Resurfacing Program and Planning Board minutes December 12th and January 9th. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second, Mayor.
Motion by Council President Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. On payment of the bills, $381,455.13. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second, Mayor.
Motion by Council President Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo, anything for us tonight?
Just to note, Mr. Mayor, that I'm sure you all got the email, just to note publicly that we have gotten our final judgment, unconditional judgment of repose for the affordable housing litigation, and at least from the legal end of it, we're done with that until 2025 at least.
Amen.
Right. Other than that, I have nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Cullen.
Yes, Mayor, just a couple of things, real quick. Resolution 18-129, just so everybody knows, most of that is going to be reimbursed for insurance. That was the emergency repair that was done when we had the pipes burst back in, I guess it was January, we had the severe cold. So that should be reimbursed, and, I want to thank Mr. Hunt actually for racing over here, that day. And, there was days worth of work. It was the whole one side of the bow. And luckily, it ended up not impacting our floor. But the actual remediation part was paid directly through by our insurance fund. But this one didn't work that way, but we'll get reimbursed. So I just want to make you aware of that. Just a couple other things. I think, Mayor, the last meeting left everybody in suspense in regards to this DOT grant that you couldn't announce. And I just want to mention, we still, the reason why it's not on correspondence and everything else, we haven't received all the formal documentation yet from the state, although the award's been all over the papers, it's on the internet, it's $881,000. I have had conversations with Mr. Miller in regards to, ideally, it would be great if we're able to get all that administrative, policy, all that, stuff from the state in time. Ideally, we would like to go through that process as well. And by the time we've bid out and awarded the contract and we've paved phase 1 of Hadley Road, which would go from Durham Avenue to a little bit past the traffic light there that you have going over to Cragwood. This is the second half of that. Ideally, there's a chance that we could be able to do it all this year if we receive the information from the state, we're able to file back with them and have everything done. So it's been approved. I think that would be a smart way of handling it. I mean, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but there are some potholes in New Jersey right now. And it would be great if we could actually do all of Hadley Road in 2018. So once we have the information, we'll get on it. It'll have to be a modified bond ordinance because we hadn't included that. But I just wanted to mention that. And congratulations to Len, really, and all the staff that worked on essentially getting a $900,000 grant. So it's the largest DOT award that the borough has ever received, as far as I know, and I've been here 15 years. And it was one of the largest in Middlesex County, really one of the larger ones in the entire state. In addition to that, I just want to mention, we're trying to get through our audit right now. We've moved a few things up because we passed a resolution in regards to us permanently financing some of our debt. So right now, I think the timetable would be that we would introduce, we don't have state aid figures yet, so you're probably looking at the introduction of the 2018 municipal budget on April 2nd. And with that, progress.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Miller.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Along those lines also with Hadley Road, the consulting engineer will be going out to bid for phase 1 on Hadley Road. Next week, it should be in the newspaper, and we can receive the bids the end of the month on the 27th. So we'll have what the actual amount's going to be, our construction cost, by the end of the month, and then we'll be able to start to put the bond ordinance together to fund that project, and also the engineering for Hadley Road Phase 2 next month. So
that would be the plan. Yeah, that would really be the way to handle it.
yeah.
Agreed.
So that's what we're looking to do, Mr. Mayor, with that progress.
Thank you. Ms. Antoni.
Progress, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Wallach.
I just want to mention that the Dr. Seuss birthday last week, Saturday, was a great success. It was a great time. I enjoyed myself. A lot of fun. Also, the cultural, the talent show yesterday. What a wonderful group of individuals we have in town. How talented they are. It was a great time. And with that, progress.
Thank you. Councilman White. Yes, progress, ma'am. Councilman Dean.
Yeah, Mayor, I just want to congratulate the high school wrestling team for their dedication and commitment, and wishing them the best of luck in his future as we go forward as well.
Thank you. Councilwoman Faustini.
Yes, just a few things tonight, Mr. Mayor. I just want to remind everyone that we're going to have the Easter egg hunt at the PAL this year on March 25th, which is Palm Sunday at 1 p.m. This year it is running a little bit differently. You do need to pre-register this year, and it will be for South Plainfield residents specifically. So that's the pre-registration. This is the first time we're doing this. We had such a huge crowd last year. It really, it was a little bit hard to manage. Yes, so the crowd, so it's more enjoyable for everybody. We're going to try it this way. The path, we're creating a path at the dog park where the overflow area is at the dog park. There's like an area for parking on the far side. There will be a path that will go through to Ponytail Park. So DPW has begun to clear that, and hopefully that should be ready in time for opening day, right? Yes, okay, absolutely. So that's some good news going forward. And just a little bit going on at the senior center. They just had, I don't know if everybody's seen it, so two young men donated a fish tank to the senior center for all our seniors to enjoy, and that was Chris Shine and David Vineski. I think I said it correctly. And I just want to thank them again for making this wonderful donation for the senior center. And with that, progress.
Excellent. Council President Benjamin.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everybody that there might be a storm on Wednesday. So to be safe out there, and hopefully we'll just go off to sea or something, and we won't get the 6 to 10 inches they're expecting. But Saturday, good news, Saturday night or Sunday morning, we get to have an extra hour of daylight, so hopefully it'll melt away pretty quick. Just a reminder that the next 3 Fridays, this Friday and the 16th to the 23rd is the Lenten Fish Dinners over at Savior. I used to say it Sacred Heart. At Holy Savior, sponsored by the Knights of Columbus. So if you get a chance, head on over here, get early, because even though this Friday we had that bad storm, they basically sold out of all their things. So with that progress.
Thank you. At this point, open it up to public comments. Anything on your mind? Yes, Suzanne.
Suzanne Lee, Port Bullard Place. Just a couple questions. When will Woodland Avenue be open again?
Right now, the county's saying it's gonna be a week. The original intent was to be 2 weeks, but I believe that it's taking place a little bit later than they thought because there were some issues, I believe, in the road with some conflicts, but they were able to do certain other workarounds. So I think right now they've said only a week, but they're calling for a snowstorm on Wednesday.
I know,
so
right.
There's a lot
I
of
didn't know if it was just like for a couple of days.
Correct.
It said, I think what I saw online was that it was for the installation of the light, but it looked like the tree was running without
Really,
delay, so.
what it largely is it's the roadway. If you look at the roadway, the right hand, I don't know if you want to call it the yield, it would be the right hand turn.
Mhm.
There's an elevation issue where that is much lower. Am I playing engineer here? Yeah, that's much lower than, it's much lower than what the road is going to be much lower than it currently is, combined with, I think.
Oh, so they are gonna do the grading?
Yes, and I think
Okay.
the other issue is the grading actually coming into the traffic light. You probably needed to have a certain, elevation going down at a certain rate, and so they're
So that's what that's.
yeah,
the
they're
issue.
lowering the road and they're backing it up some. So, and that's the only reason why it's really only closed off to Francisca, but you
Okay.
can't get through. And the easiest way traffic safety wanted to do the detour was to just do that whole block, to have it go from Oak Tree to Park to Maple and around. But
Okay.
the reality
I'm
is.
just wondering, like, for the people that are coming down Woodland, are they able to keep going to Francesca?
Yes.
So they're gonna cut through Clark Lane? I just wanna let my parents know.
Well, they're not
They're
supposed to, it's supposed to be local traffic, but the reality is,
But they
all of
could-
those side streets, whether it be,
Okay.
Clark
Well,
Lane
'cause
going
I
up
asked
to
my mom today
Melissa.
how the traffic was, and she said it wasn't bad, but I didn't, I just wanted to be able to report back to them, okay, this is what your traffic.
I mean, there's gonna be people going up East Crescent and East Fairview and all those
Oh,
side
yeah.
streets.
Yes.
But, that's,
Pile of snow.
it shouldn't be too long.
Okay, all right, second question, ordinance 125, not ordinance, resolution. Is she getting an hourly rate of $1.02 for translations, or is that in addition to the 13?
That's an addition.
Okay.
That's an addition. And the reason why it's 2 cents
Because that just seemed
is,
odd.
it's very odd. When we finally came up with, we were having trouble with interpreting services, it was originally $1 an hour, and everything is going up 1.19%.
That's how things
Part of the salary ordinance, so when it's $1, it goes up 2 cents a year, I mean, right now.
Okay, all right, because that just looked odd,
Yes.
that it was.
That wasn't a typo, it was supposed to be a 0, but
Okay,
that's why.
okay. And so then, on behalf of Cultural Arts, I just want to thank everyone who was able to attend the talent show. We did have some technical difficulties yesterday, but
It
thankfully
had nothing to do with Councilman McCon, though.
No, he was fine. But thankfully, Councilwoman Fastini's husband came to the rescue, and we were able to keep the show going. And we had 26 acts audition, 24 that participated. We had a couple of illnesses at the last minute, but I mean, it was our biggest show ever, so I just want to thank publicly all of the talented people from the community and from the nearby communities, because we had kids from Plainfield, Piscataway, and North Plainfield participating as well. So, I mean, it was just a fantastic show overall. We're really pleased with how it turned out. And just as a reminder, on Saturday the 10th, we have the Chinese New Year celebration that we're co-sponsoring with the library at the Senior Center. It starts at 1:30. It's going to be a full event with different acts going on. We're going to have food and different vendors providing artistic materials to anybody attending. So it should be a real fun day, and I hope everybody is able to attend that as well. And it's free for anyone in town.
Excellent.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Blair.
Debbie Boyle. Anybody that wishes to view the 2-hour talent show, it'll be on the Observer website at the end of the week. It'll be on the Borough website, and it'll also be on Comcast. March 25th, which is a Sunday, will be the Education Foundation Top Golf Outing. I believe it's from 5 to 10, which includes dinner this time.
What is that, March 25th?
March 25th. It's a Sunday. It's at Top Golf. Also, April 21st is the Education Foundation Vendor Show at Roosevelt School. April 22nd is the Suburban Women's Club Luncheon and Fashion Show. April 23rd is the tentative date set for Taste South Plainfield, which will include the recognition of any businesses 30 years or older that weren't recognized. Last time we asked that Mara Nash and Derek Wade do the presentations again with us for the proclamations, and Councilman President Benjavanga, you're welcome to come up also. I think there's something in May. Well, that's okay. That's good for your calendar.
They
Thank
were pretty
you.
busy for 2 months.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
I just saw my life flash before my eyes.
Good thing I went on the honeymoon already.
Oh, I can't even think about me.
All right, I have it, but I don't have it here.
The reason that it's not going to be on the calendar is we're going to do editing of the standing around. Hopefully we can do something, okay? I want to thank the mayor for coming to our career day. We had a very, very successful day. I think it was one of the better ones.
Was good, yeah.
Very one that we've ever had, including the police chief sent a lot of different people, and the children were fantastic.
We did have a lot come up afterwards, so.
Which is what we really, I think that one-on-one is the best part of the whole deal. So thank you again. And hopefully we can do it again next year. We have a new director that helped us out at the school, and he did a very good job. So thank you again. And yesterday was very, it was long. The last girl that sang was just, it was the finale to the whole thing, yes. And she's a middle school kid. She's a young little girl, so. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public portion. At this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
We are adjourned. Have a good evening.